Okay, so we've got cephalochordates and urochordates. Those represent two subphylum we looked at. Then we got the Myxini and the Petromyzontida. Those are sister taxa that represent our jawless fishes. Now we move over into some animals you really start to know. There's the chondriichthyes, and these are our sharks. Now we have a jaw, but we don't have true bone, and that's sort of our evolutionary jump here. The chondriichthyes represent the cartilaginous fish. They have scales, which we've already looked at, where do not gather bacteria and are very good for moving through water. As you know, most sharks have rows of teeth. Evolutionarily speaking here, we've got a two-chambered heart. We will not be requiring you to understand the different chambers of the heart, but just to look at them as an evolutionary progression, i.e. descent with modification. So we'll mention when we get a new version of the heart. The chondriichthyes have a sixth and seventh sense. You have your five senses. They have a sixth and seventh. The sixth sense is an electroreceptor, and it detects electrical fields. It allows them to hunt more efficiently. And the seventh sense is called the lateral line, and that allows them to determine their buoyancy in the water, to determine where they are in the. Think of it like an underwater GPS. Most sharks are continuous swimmers. They need to pass water over their gills. They do not have a swim bladder to control their buoyancy. Fish have a swim bladder, but they use oils in their liver to control their buoyancy. They may use any one of the three birthing mechanisms: oviparous, ovoviviparous, and viviparous. Oviparous is egg layers. Ovoviviparous is sort of giving birth to an internal egg and then a live birth. And then viviparous is a live birth. They are endangered. Pacific populations of sharks have plummeted by 95%. And this is, again, a very dangerous proposition when we talk about the ecology of our most important of all the biomes, the ocean, because it produces 85% of our breathable oxygen. And if we take out the top predator, that can have some disastrous effects. Oh my gosh, why are you so scared of sharks? Seriously, why are you scared of sharks? Okay, maybe you're scared of this guy. And I'm sure that one's shopped, but that sort of sends home a message. Why are you scared of sharks? And I do not want to be surfing and come across. So this is a sad shark. Why are you scared of me? Which leads us to our next line of evolutionary advancement, and these are our bony fishes, the osteichthyes. They used to actually be in their own class osteichthyes, but they've since broken it up into three smaller classes, and we'll go into all three of those classes. The first of these is Actinopterygii. Actinopterygii are the ray fin fishes. What I tell people to remember is Actinopterygii is every fish you've ever thought of. Everything you've ever thought of to be a fish is in Actinopterygii. Every goldfish, every aquarium fish, every Nemo, every Dory, every single fish that you know of as fish, every cedar plank tilapia you've ever eaten at Chili's is an Actinopterygii. Everything you know of is Actinopterygii. Then there are two weird fish, the class Actinista and a Dipnoi. The Actinista are heavily pectoral-finned, lobe-finned fishes. They were once thought to be extinct. They're very, very weird, very, very distinct. And then the lungfishes. These are fish that will actually live outside of water for some time. You've probably never seen the two of those, so again, every single fish you've ever known or ever thought about is in Actinopterygii. And it is fun to say Actinopterygii. You may pause this slideshow now and say Actinopterygii. Impress your family and friends by saying Actinopterygii. Again, that's every fish you've ever known or thought about. So here's what we're looking at. We've got the three different types of fish. We've got this is every fish we've ever known before, the Actinopterygii. And they are sort of the overarching category. And underneath you have the Actinista, the lobe-fin fish. Look, I could be walking. Or the Dipnoi, I could be walking and I've got lungs as well. So that pretty much covers the taxonomy of the three fish. Again, Actinopterygii, every fish you've ever known, the Actinista, look at these great big lobes that you have down here. And then the Dipnoi, I walk along the bottom of the ocean and I've got lungs. Again, here's our Actinopterygii, or our ray-fin fish. They are the most diverse freshwater marine. They live all over the place. They've got bony skeletons, so real bones, not the cardinal latinos. They use the swim bladder for their buoyancy. They typically have an operculum, which will cover their gills as sort of a protection. Scales and skin glands, none of that's really exciting. They do have that sixth sense, that lateral line. Again, we see a two-chambered heart, so we have not yet moved to the three-chamber heart. Some are oviviparous, which means that internal egg layer, and then the viviparous, which is the external egg layer. This is, again, every fish you know. Industrial fishing and alteration of water flow are causing some populations of fish to crash. Actinopterygii. 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 This is Actinopterygii. It's a special one. I would hate to confuse the homonuclear. Wonderful fish diversity. I do recommend when you finish this class to go out and see an aquarium. Reward yourself. But if enough people look for here's a pufferfish, Actinopterygii, and he's chilling. This one's a little upset. A lionfish. Another seahorse. It's a beautiful fish. It's called a mandarin goby. If you do have an aquarium, a saltwater aquarium, they're fairly hardy. Beautiful fish. So here's another one, and you guys can click out to check out the video. And this is the other weird one. This is the class Dipnoi, or the lungfishes. They're found on Three different places of the earth: Australia, South America, and Africa. They are known as the only fish that will drown. They have a transitional lung stage to them, so they typically with gills, but as their ponds dry up, they switch over to a very rudimentary form of a lung. If their ponds fill up too quickly and they haven't converted back to their gills, they'll subsequently drown. Gills and lungs, again, its development. Again, this is the only fish that can drown. It has both lungs and gills, and that to me looked and you can click out and check out a cool video of the lungfish.